The Elephant Who Loved Mountains by Emma Katherine McGougan. This is Moira the elephant. Moira is slightly different from other elephants, as Moira lives in Scotland. Moira loves her life. She spends her day doing all the things that elephants love to do. But Moira was a big elephant, and she had big ideas and big dreams. Moira's big dreams were mountains. She loved mountains. But there was just one tiny problem. Elephants weren't supposed to climb mountains. Elephants were big and heavy, and big and heavy animals were supposed to live on the flatlands. That was the way it had always been. But Moira would often look longingly up at the mountains and wonder what it would be like up there. So one day, she decided that she was going to do what no elephant had ever done before. She was going to be the first elephant to climb to the top of a mountain. She was going to be a pioneer. And she knew exactly which mountain she was going to climb. She was going to climb the highest mountain she knew, the mountain that towered over all the land, Munro Mountain. Moira felt very excited about her new plan, but first she would need to get into training. She exercised very hard every day. One day, Moira bumped into a rabbit. When Moira told the rabbit what she was doing, the rabbit shook her head and said, "Elephants shouldn't climb mountains. You are wasting your time and making a fool of yourself." And then she hopped off. Moira felt confused and sad. She thought for a long time. Later on, she met a frog. He wasn't nice or encouraging either. "Elephants shouldn't be climbing mountains. You should stay on the flatlands where you belong," he croaked. But Moira knew what she was going to say this time and replied, "Yes, things might get tough, and I might even run out of puff. I might not do anything new, and I might not get to see the view. But at least I'm going to try to reach up high into the sky. Unless you dream and then begin, how would you achieve anything?" She then swung herself around, and with her head held high, she walked off, extremely pleased with herself at her little rhyme. She wasn't going to waste her time with creatures who weren't nice. Eventually the day arrived when Moira felt that she was ready to climb the mighty Munro Mountain. But as she stood at the bottom and looked up, she started to feel a little nervous. So she told herself to just put one foot in front of the other, and then she was on her way. But she hadn't got far when a red lizard scurried up to her. He looked grumpy. "What are you doing here?" he said. "You shouldn't be here. Elephants shouldn't be up mountains." But Moira replied, "Yes, things might get tough, and I might even run out of puff. I might not do anything new, and I might not get to see the view. But at least I'm going to try to reach up high into the sky. Unless you dream and then begin, how would you achieve anything?" She then gave a large trumpet sound with her trunk and walked on. Up ahead, sitting on a rock, Moira spotted a snail. Moira sighed and got ready to hear the normal grumbles. But instead, the snail gave Moira a cheery "hello." They chatted for a long time. Eventually the snail said, I have often wondered myself what it would be like at the top of the mountain. Would you mind if I joined you?" "Not at all," Moira said. She scooped the snail up onto her trunk, and they headed up the mountain as new friends. "I'm Nora, by the way," the snail said. "Nice to meet you. I'm Moira," Moira replied. They went higher and higher, but then Moira stopped. She felt so tired. But Nora encouraged her to continue on. "You can do it, Moira," she would say. Every step of the way, Nora gave her encouragement, and the two of them slowly made their way up together. Until finally, after what seemed like forever, the end was in sight. Moira felt ready to drop. Her legs were starting to wobble, and then, hurrah! "We've done it, Nora!" Moira shouted. "Well, actually you did it, Moira," Nora replied, slithering off onto a rock. "I was only a passenger." But Moira replied, "Nonsense! I couldn't have done it without you." They sat and enjoyed the view for a long time. Who would have thought? An elephant and a snail at the very top of the Munro Mountain. "You know what, Moira?" Nora said as they were heading back down. "I think we should do this again." "What a fabulous idea," Moira replied. And by the time they had reached the bottom, they had already planned their next mountain adventure. So if you decide to go to the mountains, look out for Moira and Nora, as they will be out up a mountain somewhere. The end.